So, Tomi Arayomi released a video this week called The Dark and Idolatrous Past of Christmas. He goes into further elaboration talking about the dark origins of Christmas like you never heard it before. And let me tell you something, you're about to be shocked. But let me give you a quick segment of the video.
This prophet from wherever just told us that our whole Christmas was pagan. Listen, I hate to bring you bad news, but the Christmas tree was idolatry. It was. It was. You have to get a tree. You'd have to go to the tree. You'd have to cut down a tree from the forest, and you'd have to put balls on it. And the balls were symbolic of testicles.
Now we're going to take a look at more of his video footage in a minute. But it seems like this was Tomi's chance at attempt at canceling Christmas. I found this video disturbing on so many levels. But it seems that for a few years now, we are seeing an anti-Christmas movement within hyper-charismatic churches, trying to cancel Christmas and Christmas trees. Tomi is going to go into the pagan history behind our favorite holiday, Christmas. And although some of this information is true, he misuses some Old Testament passages about trees to try to prove his point. Now let me state this first. I am actively engaged in deliverance and inner healing ministries. So I believe in the power of darkness. I believe in demons. However, some are perverting and sensationalizing this ministry to claim that everything is demonic and everything is pagan. So let's cancel everything. Let's destroy everything. And this should be rejected as utter nonsense and foolishness. Both the prophetic and deliverance ministries across the United States and worldwide have gone seriously off track. I have serious concerns about prophetic ministry and the direction that it's headed in, and serious concerns about deliverance ministries that are going hyper deliverance. And many theological concerns with both on deep levels. What I'm seeing from a majority of these ministries is very concerning. And I just want to warn people to be very careful who you follow in these last days. Jesus warned that in the end times, false prophets would be abundant. Hence, meaning true prophets would be rare. I heard some of Tomi's prophetic words for the year 2024, and here is a word that he released recently. To say that I am a bit concerned about Tomi's ministry at this point is a bit of an understatement. So let's take a look at this clip.
I saw the United States of America forcing people to eat bugs. And I saw meat being changed into bug food, literally. And people were going to restaurants and they were eating bugs like they were John the Baptist. And this shocked me because this was all done in the name of a new religion or an existing religion, and this religion was called global warming or the global warming crisis. Everybody turned to eating bugs. Bugs was like in the restaurant menu. You could have a cockroach, you could have a botfly, you could have chicken nuggets, but they weren't chicken. You could have a chicken burger, but it wasn't a chicken burger. It was made of protein from insects, and people didn't seem to mind too much. But there was an elite group of people that were eating all the meat, and the rest of us were stuck straddling eating bugs.
Yeah, so to say that I'm a bit concerned with Tomi's ministry at this point is a bit of an understatement. It reminded me of all the prophets telling us to stack up on food in 2023 because food shortages were coming. And although we had some minor supply disruption, I never lacked any food for even a day in 2023 and never used any of the food that I stocked up on. Some of it was just total nonsense. But let's get into Tomi's video right here. This is disturbing. So if you're a very friendly Christmas person, you're not going to want to see this. Let's play the clip.
Next thing they did was move the day of Jesus' worship to December because Tammuz died on December 23rd. And it was believed, because Nimrod, his father, was a hunter, it was believed that Nimrod would be reborn in his son Tammuz. And his son Tammuz's birthday was December 25th. And what you would do on Tammuz's birthday was you would set up a tree. Some say, holy cow. Deuteronomy, that's it, 16:21. Had all these notes this morning. You shall not plant for yourself any tree as a wooden image near the altar which you build for yourself to the Lord your God.
Okay, so we're going to see here that Tomi is going to use this verse in Deuteronomy about trees to try to say that we shouldn't have Christmas trees today. But let's take a look at this verse real quick. So you're going to see here in Deuteronomy 16:21, the verse he uses in the King James Version, right? Which I'm not sure why anybody uses that version anymore except for the beautiful language that it has. It's not a very accurate translation. So it says, thou shalt not plant thee a grove of any tree near unto the altar of the Lord thy God, which thou shalt make thee. Okay? But the thing is, if we go to a more modern translation that come from better translations, we're going to see here in the ESV, which is the translation I use, you shall not plant any tree as an Asherah beside the altar of the Lord your God that you shall make. Okay? So this verse here particularly is talking about people putting up Asherah poles. And sometimes they were trees, but a lot of times they weren't. And if it was a tree, it was a living tree. It was planted in the ground. And so there are so many reasons why this would not fit a Christmas tree, because this was talking about putting up a tree that was an Asherah pole, okay, and worship to Asherah. A regular Christmas tree does not fit the description of this. But let's go in to see more of his video now.
I just want to listen. Somebody say, oh my God, I wish we didn't come to church today because Christmas is coming. And this prophet from wherever just told us that our whole Christmas was pagan. Listen, I'm just here to tell Christians how far we've fallen. I'm not here to tell you, if you want your tree up or tree down, that's not my business. That's not my business. But I'm going to ick you as to the tree. It was believed that in order for Tammuz to rise again as his son Nimrod, he would have to get a tree. You'd have to go to the tree. You'd have to cut down a tree from the forest, and you'd have to put balls on it. And the balls were symbolic of testicles. Some say, holy cow.
Okay, so the main problem that I have with this is it doesn't matter what anybody else is considering that used Christmas trees for in the past. Even if it had pagan roots or pagan identity, that's not what we're attempting to do with a Christmas tree now. We're trying to use Christmas trees to celebrate Christmas. It's something that kids like to do. I was trying to help with my nieces and them putting up the tree, and it's just a wonderful, beautiful thing that we should all enjoy, okay? So just because they use this, right, in years past as idolatry and pagan worship doesn't mean that that's the purpose that we're using it for now. And in Jesus Christ has made all things new, and we have full authority in his name. And so this is not transferable to a modern day Christmas tree. I don't care what anybody else has done with it in the past. When I put up a Christmas tree, I'm trying to celebrate Jesus. I'm trying to celebrate the birth of Jesus. Now, what people did with it in the past is not really my concern as long as I don't have the same intentions today, right? So that's really important to name. That although what he's saying is that balls on a Christmas tree represented testicles, it's just like, I don't understand. Now, I understand what a lot of people are doing Christmas has got way too commercial. It's not about Jesus anymore. It's about presents. It's not about Jesus. It's about Santa Claus. I'm all about keeping Christ in Christmas and bringing Christmas back to the true meaning with the birth of Jesus. Let's watch a little more of the video.
Tree was symbolic of a phallus. You don't know what a phallus is? Don't Google it. It's a pee-pee, a man's a penis. The halo on the door symbolized Semiramis's some say holy cow. And it was believed that on December 25th, when the tree met the door, that Tammuz was reborn. And you would bake cakes with crosses on them and offer them up to the Queen of Heaven. Some say, holy cow, we're in the wrong place. What just happened here? Now, I'm just telling you how far we've fallen. People say, people worrying about Halloween. Halloween? Halloween! It's the least of our problems. At least those people are dressed like witches. This one that we got a wizard who's meant to be wizard wearing red, coming down chimneys. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. Some say, holy cow. Jeremiah chapter 10. Look what it says. Hear the word which the Lord speaks to you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord. Do not learn the way of the Gentiles. Do not be dismayed at the signs of the heaven, for the Gentiles are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are futile. For one cuts a tree from the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with an axe. They decorate it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers so that it will not topple. I hate to bring you bad news, but the Christmas tree was idolatry. It was. Now, some of you are just sitting there. Listen, I just want to tell you what Constantine did to us. This is what he did. Blame him. Now, listen, do I believe Christmas is commercial now? Yes. Do I believe that anybody who sets up their tree is not worshiping? I don't know. I just don't want somebody else's manhood in my living room. Come on now. It's just me. It's just me.
Okay, so we're seeing here Tommy's a chance to basically cancel Christmas, to cancel Christmas trees, and I'm finding this utter ridiculous because we're so far removed from the original purposes that they originally intended for these things. We're so far removed from it that it doesn't matter. To me, a Christmas tree is not idolatry. I'm not worshiping the Christmas tree. It's not an altar. It's not something that I worship. A matter of fact, we have a manger scene underneath the tree that's been in my family for 30 years. It's pretty beat up at this point, and it's all about Jesus and celebrating Jesus. So I'm just having a hard time with a lot of these hyper-prophetic, hyper-charismatic movements. And again, I'm fully charismatic. I'm fully prophetic. I believe in deliverance ministries. But there is freedom in Jesus Christ. And God knows our hearts. The reason that we're putting up that Christmas tree is more important than what Constantine originally had deemed it for. Sure, we've seen here that it definitely has pagan roots. But again, we're so far removed from those pagan roots that Christmas tree is not idolatry. And I just want to say that a lot of this stuff is just charismatic nonsense, and people just need to cut it out and stop over-spiritualizing things, over-demonizing things. This is foolishness and nonsense. You can fully have a Christmas tree. You can fully feel free to decorate it and enjoying it. Just because originally the balls on the Christmas tree were testicles and it was a fertility ritual, it doesn't mean that that's what I'm doing when I'm putting it. and you are free to use a Christmas tree, free to celebrate Christmas. So they changed the date of Christmas to, we know that Jesus was probably most likely born in June during the summertime. They moved it to the end of the year. And yes, they did have pagan ideas in mind when they did that. However, I think we should fully celebrate Christmas. I think we can fully enjoy it. We can fully have a Christmas tree. Tommy's saying that he's not putting up a Christmas tree anymore, not hating on anyone that else does, but he's kind of implying like you shouldn't have a Christmas tree. You shouldn't decorate the Christmas tree. And I just want to say, utter foolishness and nonsense. We have freedom in Christ. We're not have those attempts when we put up a Christmas tree. It's not an item of worship. It's not idolatry. And the second verse he used, again, misused that verse as well. And basically, a lot of people in the charismatic world, they love to pull random, weird Old Testament passages out to support their theology. And again, it's just wrong. He misapplied two verses, the two verses that he did use. And so I want to tell you today, we need to just stop. And we honestly really need to rid the church of people that preach and teach like this. We need to get rid of these people. It's hyper charismatic stuff. It's total nonsense. And we need to just keep our eyes on Jesus and Christmas. And I'm putting up my Christmas tree every year. So I'm interested in what you think and how you feel. Please comment down below. Do you still put up a Christmas tree and decorate it? Are you still celebrating Christmas and enjoying it and involved in it? Or because of Tommy said with the pagan roots of Christmas and Christmas trees, are you not doing that anymore? I'd like to hear, even if you hold Tommy's view. I want to say that Tommy is a brother in Christ, and he seems like a really good guy. He's trying to do some really good things out there. He seems like someone with a really good heart. So I'm not attacking him. I'm just kind of somewhat coming and challenging these ideas. So let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below. And to everybody out there, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. And we will talk more before the new year. Blessings.